What's going on, guys? My name's Victor Hughes and I am back to talk to you about when you should quit your day job to pursue video and photo full-time. Now, full disclosure, I have not quit my job to do this. I have stepped down from full-time to part-time at my warehouse job so I can focus more on video and photo, because that at this moment is what I can realistically do. So I can't just up and quit my job yet, because my wife has been going to school for a few years and now she can finally do student teaching. But if you know anything about school systems and stuff, most of those student teaching jobs don't pay you. So she had to quit her job to do that, because that is pretty much a full-time gig, leaving me the only income for this household. I would love to just up and quit, and I know that I could make it happen and I could put in the work, but I just don't want a chance not being able to pay our rent or, keep the lights on, stuff like that. So I'm going to get into some tips and pieces of advice for you to examine whether or not you are ready to quit or at least step down at your job to pursue video and photo full-time, or at least more than you already are. So currently, I would say I don't have enough consistent business to just up and quit my job. For the last 8 months, I've had pretty consistent business, but in December and January, and it's January right now, I've gotten little to no work. A lot of my clients were just saving for Christmas, waiting for the weather to be nicer. And that's the thing, is when you're your own boss, a lot of this stuff can be unpredictable. And so one of the things that I'm trying to do now that I have more time on my hands is to go after new business, new clients, reaching out on Instagram, Facebook, going to meet people in person, more networking. I can't keep relying on the same 10, 20 people who come to me for photos and videos to give me that business and keep food on our plates. I would advise you to find some sort of residual income. For me, one of my residual incomes would be my part-time job. I can expect that check every 2 weeks, and that is something that I will continue to get every month. On top of that, I make video trainers for Olympic gymnast Jake Dalton, who is sponsored by Cage Muscle, and they pay me to make those video trainers, and they've been having me make 2 of those a month. So even though we didn't sign any contract saying that I would get a year's worth of business from them, that's something that I have been able to rely on until this month of January, in which they said they don't want 2, they only want 1, which of course happened when I decided to go part-time. That's just the way she goes, I'm an ambassador for Tropic Colour. They make video assets such as LUTs, film grains, film burns, VHS overlays. I've been a part of other ambassadorships. They haven't been that great. You had to put in a lot of work for little reward, but Tropic Colour has been different because not only do I love the products and I already use them, you receive free products, and all you gotta do is talk about them, and then you get a discount code, and mine is BigVicMedia20, shameless plug right there for you. And if your code gets used, you get $10 for every time. And I don't have a huge following on YouTube or Instagram, so I didn't think it was gonna get utilized that much, but I was like, hey, what the heck? I mean, I love their product anyway, and I have no problem, promoting them, because I completely believe in what they do. I thought maybe I'd get 1 use, so get $10, but I actually got 8, so that's $80. And I had to do almost nothing. I just utilized my following and the fact that I make videos and I already use their stuff so I could promote it. And I got $80. And $80 in the grand scheme of things is really not a lot. But that is a couple tanks of gas depending what car you drive. That could be a trip to the grocery store for the week. It's the little things that start to add up. So I got my day job, I got my Cage Muscle income, I got Tropic Colour. Those are things that, provide a little safety net for me if I can't find any business. There's always business to be found, even in a not so booming market like Reno has for video and photo. It's not LA or Atlanta or New York. Another thing I would recommend you do is diversify your income. So not only are you trying to find the residual stuff, but say you love video but you hate taking photos. If you're just kind of starting out, or if you're still trying to grow your business and your following, I would recommend you do both and you get good at it too. Because if you say, I'm only doing video, that means you are cutting off the other half of the market right there. Just cut it clean off. That means you can't do wedding photos. That means no one's coming to you for senior photos, any sort of portraits, family photos, whatever. That is business that you are just shutting the door on. And I did this early on, and it was a mistake because I think I probably would have a lot more business right now if I had just said yes to all those people who had asked me from the get-go. You're gonna get way more clientele because people are just gonna keep talking about you. As long as your work ethic is good, your projects are looking great, you treat your clients well, then you know that word of mouth will spread and you will get business that way. Also, I'd recommend that you kind of build up a safety net in your savings just for a rainy day. So assuming you got no business for a month, will you be able to survive? You should, if you've built up a savings. My wife and I have done that. Ideally, we don't want to dip into it at all, but it's there to alleviate some of the pressure off of my shoulders. So if I can't find business, I'm not beating myself up over it. Yes, I'm gonna work hard, but I don't want to constantly feel unfulfilled if I can't find that business, because that is an easy way to become burnout or to get really down on yourself and depressed because you can't deliver, especially if you have a family like I do. One way you can build up that savings is by cutting down your expenditures. A lot of people like to buy things they don't really need, like a brand new car or a brand new house. That just equates to more bills. My wife and I, we bought our cars outright. We rent from her grandparents, and yes, they give us a killer deal, but we're not gonna go out there and buy a house that is going to be double our rent just in the name of investing in a house, you know? Because that's not always the best choice, even though housing is typically a good investment. Because you got to weigh, do I want the material items that will make me happy for a little bit, or do I want to be happy every day, not dread Monday, and do I want to do what I love and get paid for it? So that is where I'm at. I want to do this. You can keep your materialistic things. And honestly, if you're gonna spend money on anything, you should make sure that those are investments towards yourself, whether that be for marketing your business, you know, upgrading your equipment as you see necessary, and not just, you know, frivolously buying stuff that you don't really need. Like, look, I got 20 freaking lenses now. You know, don't go out and do that. But I will say that every dollar that I made up until now has just gone back into my business. So I started off with a Canon T5. That thing couldn't even do full HD with 60 frames per second. Like, that was just, that was like a beginner's photo camera. So that was very tough working with, and the autofocus was god awful. And so I upgraded to the Canon T7i. And once I felt that I was outgrowing that, I went and got the Canon 1DX Mark II, because I'm taking all that money and not just spending it on whatever, I am reinvesting it into myself. I got the drone because in 2019 everyone wants drone shots in their videos, especially brides. I've learned that's one of the first questions is, do you have a drone? Because they have this image in their head of a cinematic drone shot showing that beautiful ranch that they're getting married at. And if you say no, I don't, they might just move on to the next person. And you don't want that to happen. You don't want to give people a reason to move on. If someone comes to you, you want to make sure that you lock them down and give them a reason to stay. And you know, a lot of that is showcased through your reel, which you should also make before going part-time or quitting your job, because you need to show people your work and showcase that. It's not all about gear, but having this gear opens myself up to more of a market. Like if I do real estate photos, drones are popular for real estate photos, videos, whatever it may be, and I might never get that client if I tell them I don't have a drone. And so these are things that you might want to invest in before you decide to pursue this as your career and your future. If you have any questions for me, please drop them in the comments and I will respond to them. And if I get enough comments of, you know, any confusion or things people want me to address, I'll definitely make another video. And if I helped you out in any way, please like, subscribe. I'm gonna be cranking out more of these YouTube videos, and hopefully we can all learn and grow together in 2019. Thanks for watching. I'm Victor Hughes.